up something right now. But I don't know if you guys heard. I mean, it's old news at this point, but they do have the Serbian protests going on. And also, it's been really rainy. I see a little bit of clouds. It was thunderstorming all last night. But the weather is really good now, and the weather yesterday was really good. But yesterday was a bit better. I can see the thunderstorm clouds a bit. But hey, at least it's not raining. The sun is poking out. That's good news. I'm not really a master chef yet, so I'm not going to show what I'm making, but I will say, sorry, I got to clean the lens a little bit. I will say that, I guess or whatever, I'm supposed to be like, what the hell was I going to say? Should probably rip off the stickers, right? Hold on. Did that. Give a couple of seconds for some people to join, maybe, who knows. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I guess tomorrow or whatever, I can reapply for YouTube monetization and potentially get paid off of it. But like I said before, I don't think I'm gonna do all that. Only because I don't know what content YouTube is gonna allow and not allow, and I'm kind of just sick of them. So at this rate, I probably won't even try to get that money. I mean, maybe eventually, if someone can fully explain to me, what I need to fix on my YouTube to get paid, I don't know. But I'm still yet to find that, and I have hundreds of videos. I'm not trying to go through every single one and just guess. And YouTube won't even specifically tell me. Yeah, that's the view I like, when it's not rainy and stuff like that. But yeah, tomorrow is the day, I guess, that YouTube will let me get paid, supposedly. But unless they actually made some kind of new community guidelines, then I don't think so. But I am interested to know, is CNN monetized on YouTube? My guess would be yes. If they're monetized on YouTube, why can't I get monetized? I make the same content as them. But mine's actually truthful, not fake news. But I don't know if you guys heard about what's going on in Serbia. Drop a comment if you have. Hit the like and subscribe button. The fan! The cooking fan! Oh yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm pretty sure I'm like 0% Irish, so I'm not really gonna celebrate that. Maybe I'll go somewhere, I don't know. You guys ever seen like a Norwegian prison? If I'm gonna be real with you, the Norwegian prison is probably 99% better than how most Americans live. Like, look it up if you don't believe me. And they're all doing all that for free. They don't have to work a job or anything. Like, I saw one guy, how the hell do you get like 11 years for a murder or whatever? I would be pissed if I was the other guy's family. I'd probably come to the prison and if I was that dude's family and saw how nice the prison was. I smell the sea. Let's cook this up. Well done style. Well done. Got my lemonade here. Just regular lemonade. Let me know what you guys think about Serbia, Donald Trump, Norwegian prisons. One thing I'm kind of done is watching. Well, at least you know the stove is still on. I'm pretty much done cooking this, so it's gonna cook through. But what the hell just happened? That scares me a little bit because they have construction outside. I don't know if someone just accidentally killed a wire or what. I'm gonna immediately close all my doors. I have no clue why the power just cut off. A little bit scary. I don't want it to get too hot in here just in case, you know. That's the yacht marina down there, Porto Tiviot. I think what I'm cooking is pretty much done, but let me know where you guys are coming from. Inside the United States, outside the United States. I'm coming from outside the United States. Hit the like and subscribe button if you guys are new here. We're talking about, you know, global politics, Serbia, stuff like that. The prisons in Norway are freaking ridiculous. Like, literally, they give you, like, a free apartment. They let you swim in the swimming pools. It's just freaking nuts. So how the hell do they let anyone do that in a prison? Like, there's people that murdered people in there. I saw one dude only got, like, 12 years for a murder. That's crazy. If I was the dude that he killed's family, I would probably show up to that prison and do the unthinkable. I mean, there's only 4 guards there in the first place for like 200 prisoners. How are they gonna stop you? Not saying that I, I'm not, don't do anything bad, guys. But I'm just saying this is just like a what if scenario. And now it's also raining. Ouch. I went from a sunny, nice day to the rain. I mean, at least the sun is still out a little bit, but dang, it's raining again. I'm kind of getting sick of the rain, I can't lie. Can anyone guess where I am? I will say the weather itself, like the air is really cold and nice, very refreshing. Anyway, let me get back to the food for a second. We'll keep talking. But yeah, I know there's like protests in Serbia or whatever. They're trying to say that's like 300,000. 300,000? You want me to believe that's 300,000? I think it must be at least 500,000, if not millions, or if not millions, sorry, if not 1 million people at least. Those are the estimates I heard. And yeah, they're still doing construction in any weather here, pretty much. But that can literally be in any city. When I lived in Fort Myers, Florida, Fort Misery, as many call it, no offense to anyone that lives there, it is a beautiful place. But, there's its pros and cons. There's its pros and cons of living in Fort Misery. Cons, it's super expensive, and you can literally live anywhere else for cheaper. And also the hurricane knocked down everything. Okay, the power's back on. Jesus Christ. Thank the Lord. Thank you guys. So we got Donald J. Trump, he's trying to stop wars. At the same time, he's bombing Yemen. He's trying to show, that he's the bad man. He is the bad man. If I had to say any politician in the world I do not want to mess with, I don't care if you love the guy, hate the guy, what's the number one that comes on the top of your head? Donald J. Trump. I don't think you want to mess with the guy. I mean, maybe I'm just the only one who thinks that, but first off, I don't want to mess with anyone that can get shot and, just walk it off. I don't care if you got shot in the ear or what. If you're just able to walk it off, that's a little bit, mind-blowing. And if you've seen some stuff like that before, then you absolutely know, that's crazy. Regardless of where a person gets shot, they normally don't act like that. And I'm talking about people that are, my age, not 70. Well, people in here, hit the like and subscribe button if you guys are new to my channel. We talk politics, travel videos. I'm originally a United States citizen. I'm from South Florida. Hey man, what's up? How you doing? Good morning or, good night or late night, wherever you guys are coming from. I love to hear it. Currently, it's 11:30 where I am at, 11:49. I lied. It's raining outside right now. If anyone can guess where I'm at, that would be crazy. Any guesses? Any guesses? I'll give you one hint. It's in the Balkans. But yeah, I love to talk with you guys. Let me know where you're coming from. I'm originally from Florida. Yes, I'm a United States citizen, so that's why I talk about, United States politics a lot and stuff like that. But, I just love to hear from you guys. Hit the like and subscribe button. We're just talking about Donald J. Trump. We got Elon Musk. He got Trump the Tesla. I never expected Trump to buy himself a Tesla like that. That is pretty cool. The White House gets to drive it. I hope we get to see some viral videos of it. To be honest, I think Elon's going to pull more stunts like this. But think about it. Biden did it. Biden made a car dealership. He made it for Jeep and all those guys. And he drove the electric Jeep around. So what's the difference? At first I was thinking, who the hell does this? Isn't this against the code of ethics? But I'm a big Trump guy at the same time. I mostly support what he does. But some things are questionable, undoubtedly. So I can obviously see why people hate him. It's not hard to see that. But what's hard to see is when people lie. When the Congress member specifically lied. He said that he heard out of Elon Musk's mouth that he's going to cut Social Security. He's like, Elon's been saying it all over TV. He's going to cut Social Security and Medicare. No, sir. Elon Musk has never said that. You're just saying anything out of your mouth. That's called blatant lies. That's called lies. Just because you're scared and you don't know what's going to happen, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen, but that doesn't mean you have to lie on a man. You're putting fear in Americans' hearts. You're putting fear in fellow Americans' hearts. Now, people like me, even if they get Social Security money, I don't get that, but even if they do get Social Security money, they're like gonna be like scared as shit for their life or whatever. They're gonna be scared about their Social Security money and their Medicare. Even if they're my age though and they get it, they probably wouldn't be too scared just because, we're a resilient generation, we're a little bit younger, we can still work jobs and do stuff like that. So it's not gonna make us homeless or anything, hopefully not, but I don't speak for everybody. But yeah, that's pretty much that. A lot of people get scared of it. They hate on it. They say Elon Musk is an unelected official. Well, what about all the other unelected people? They could hate on anybody else. They could hate on Tom Holland, which is unelected. He's the border czar. He's the one deporting everyone. But no, instead, they hate on Elon Musk, the guy that's just trying to cut wasteful spending. Not really what I expected to happen. I mean, I knew they were going to hate on the dude, but I didn't think that they would specifically hate on him that hard. But I'm going to be doing these live streams more. I know I'm not going to get paid, even though I'm supposed to get paid off doing these, supposed to get monetized tomorrow. But since the reason they gave me is strict content and that I talk about controversial subjects. They lied and said I was giving health advice about the jabs. I'm not even going to say the word because they'll probably censor me more. They lied and said I was giving health advice about that. No, I wasn't giving health advice about that. I never said they were good or bad. Oh no, I was saying like, where do you guys think I'm at? Do you guys think I'm in one of the United States? Like, do you think I'm in one of the states? I've been to like 20 states before. Not sure if you would know what this is or where this is, but yeah. Am I inside the USA or outside the USA? What do you guys think? Who hates Trump? I'd love to speak with you. You can love the guy, you can hate the guy. One thing you can't say is that the stuff they're saying on the news is 100% true. Because I saw multiple things of them saying, specifically a Senate member. I can bring this video up if you don't believe me, and you can Google it yourself. Is there proof? Is there video proof? Is there rumors, like actual rumors, that Elon Musk wants to cut Social Security and Medicare? There's zero actual proof, even though a Congress member that's a Democrat said that Elon Musk said live on television out of his mouth that he will cut Social Security benefits for people of the United States, the ones that deserve it. Oh, absolutely, not far from Dubrovnik. I love Dubrovnik. You're very correct. I'm in Montenegro. I'm in Tiviot, but I think it's like an hour drive from Dubrovnik, maybe 2 hours, honestly. But I want to go back to Dubrovnik. Trust me, it's beautiful. I want to explore Croatia truly more. I want to go to Puglia. I have a friend there actually, but it's like 300 miles away. And I don't have a car yet, but I'm going to get one eventually. That's another thing on my goal, is to get a car here. Doesn't cost that much, maybe like 2 or 3,000 for, something that can actually run. I don't need like a luxury car or something crazy. I already had big expensive cars before. I don't need anything like that. Just something very, very, very basic. And that I can work on easily. One thing I thought about, you guys might go crazy when I say this. One thing I thought about was the Suzuki Samurai. I know it's from like the 1980s or whatever. I saw one for like $2,500 here. Very easy to work on, but the horsepower isn't the best. It's a very rough ride as well, as you may know. But like, that's a good price. And also in the US, those things go for like 20 grand now. If you look up like a Suzuki Samurai, 20,000. And that's on the lower end. Some of them go up to 30 or 40,000 because they're highly collectible. Not far from Dubrovnik. That's funny that you said that. Have you been to Dubrovnik before? I'm guessing so. Dubrovnik is beautiful, but living there, I don't know about that. I thought about it before, but I chose here instead. But before here, I was living in Barcelona. A lot of people are in Barcelona right now. There's a lot of huge events going on. But yeah, I guess the guy that doesn't like Trump doesn't want to speak to me or drop any comments. I was just pointing out one obvious thing, that they lied about Musk. Here's where you can grow your wine, up here in the mountains. Things like that. No, one thing I found about Barcelona and stuff like that, and also just the USA. No, I don't watch TV even. But I was just telling them that they believe everything the TV tells them. They believe that, they're like, the Medicare is going to get cut the Medicare, the Social Security, the Medicare. Elon said it out of his own mouth. He said it live on TV. That's literally what one of the senators said. Now, just because people believe everything they see on TV, just like you said, That's a valid reason. Like, I respect valid reasons. I respect when people say I respect other people's opinions, but when they say stuff like Elon wants to cut the elderly Social Security and make them poor or whatever, that is just like nutso to me. He never said that. All he wants to do is cut wasteful spending. And that's awesome. When I first came here myself, I stayed in Qatar. I remember reading about a hurricane, but I'm guessing that was like probably like around 2007 or 2008 when that happened. I don't really remember. I mean, earthquake, not hurricane. Have you ever been to Tiviot? Tavat, I mean, I don't know why I say it like that. Have you ever been to Tavat? It's like the biggest, it's like the super. No one watches TV under 60. Absolutely. Now, if you guys don't believe I don't watch TV, like, I just got this, my red pants or whatever. I just got this apartment or whatever here in Tavat, and, the wrapper of the TV is literally still on, and it's not plugged in. But I'm not trying to be like the other kids in my generation. All they do is scroll, look on social media. I'm a little bit getting away from that. I'd rather just create content, or I'd rather just talk to people here on the live. Because anything else, it's just kind of wasting my time. But I do like to hear stories here and there, whatever. Like, I like to hear about something going on in the news a little bit. But CNN is dying, and especially the older generation, they refuse to admit it. They will go bankrupt. It's only a matter of time. Hello, welcome into the live stream. Yeah, it's only a matter of time until CNN goes bankrupt. Now, the question is, will they stay around or will they completely be shut down? They'll absolutely stay around. Someone will buy them. CNN will probably struggle with the offer because it's not going to be what they want it to be, but they will be bought, I believe. So I don't know if they're going to stay a liberal news network, maybe. No, I'm not from Serbia. Are you from Serbia? Shout out all my Serbians. There's a lot of Serbians here in Montenegro and in the Balkans. I went to Serbia like 2 weeks ago for the first time. But what's happened is absolutely insane. And I don't want to scare any Serbians or anything like that. But this is just an American citizen's opinion. But if I had to guess, the country is probably about this close from complete revolution. Now that scares me for a couple of reasons. Only because they haven't had anything like this, I don't think, since the 90s. Do you still live in Serbia? Or are you living somewhere else? Yeah, I heard you the first time, but are you living in Serbia now, or are you not? A little bit curious. Maybe you can give me a better perspective of what's going on right now, or if you have family there, maybe they know something I don't know. But the news outlets there. Okay, so you are in Serbia still. Would you agree with this thing? Would you agree with this part that I'm gonna say? That Serbia, like not the revolution, the people there at the protest or whatever, I think that's more than 300,000. Like the mainstream news in Serbia, they're saying 300,000, 300,000. Don't arrest me when I come to Serbia for saying this, but I think that's a bit more than 300,000. They may be suppressing the numbers a bit. But that's just my own opinion. I think it's closer to 1 million, if you want my opinion. Do you agree with that or no? Or do you think it is actually 300,000? Because I know the population is only around 6 million, but really from the looks of it, it looks almost like 1 million people. Now, I'm not the best at guessing people, but... Wow, that's crazy. How was that? Was it a recent protest or when? Please hit the like and subscribe button. I love to have more Serbian subscribers, and I love to talk with you. In the late 70s? Wow. In the 70s, late. Well, at that time, I don't know about the 70s, but wasn't it Yugoslavia at that point? Listen, my history gets confused. All I know is about the 90s a little bit and stuff like that. But what was it like back then? It wasn't it all Yugoslavia? You know, I think so. I don't know. Someone could educate me a little bit, maybe. I've never met anyone I've never talked to anyone even that was here in the 70s. Well, I mean, I've talked to people that were, but I mean, like, I'm saying, like, I don't really know the history fully. I never really sat down with anyone that was here from the 70s. Or visited, like. Now that would be pretty crazy. I don't know why you would visit Yugoslavia back then. I'm pretty sure everyone was staying away from it. Especially Westerners. I wonder what country you'd come from if you visited Kotor in the 70s. Are you an American? I'm curious to know, Red Safanstan. Sorry if I don't pronounce it right. Very bad at any pronunciations. But what citizenship do you have, or what country are you from? I mean, what's your nationality? That's what my question is. Like, where are you from originally? Because that's interesting that you came here during then. You're English? You're from, like, the UK? I wonder what it was like to visit Kotor in the 70s. I mean, it was probably very similar. Wow, that's crazy. An Englishman visiting, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but an English person visiting Kotor in the 1970s. Hello, Belgrade, Serbia. How are you holding up there? How's everything going? I saw the protest. It's hello from Tivat, Montenegro. I hope everything goes good. I hope you guys get what you want with your protest or whatever. I know the situation isn't easy, and I pray for you guys. My only question is, I've been asking a few other Serbians that joined in, do you guys think that's 300,000 in that recent protest, or do you think it's more? Because personally, I'm no numbers expert, but I saw the overview of the drone footage. That looks closer to 1 million. That can't just be 300,000. But maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist. I know there's only like 6 million people in the country, so maybe 1 million's too much for one protest. I don't know. Another thing I speculate is that it's the biggest protest in history. But I may be wrong on both things. I don't know. Absolutely. People do not like the president there, I can tell. I wonder what's going to happen. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be a revolution? Yeah, I know it's scary. I will say at least you guys have one advantage. If this was an American protest, I mean, I know there's still people looting and stuff like that. But if this was like an American protest, oh yeah, it would absolutely go, 12% of the whole population was on the streets of Belgrade. The scary thing is I don't know if there's going to be a revolution or what's going to happen. I mean, it's kind of obvious the president isn't going to stay in power, and I think the local government is a little bit scared to agitate the protesters. But if this was America and we had that many protesters, people would literally be killing each other. They'd be breaking every business, every window. They'd be looting everyone. They'd be robbing everyone. There'd be guns out. I mean, I know Serbians have guns. Don't get me wrong there, but American violence is just another kind of level. I mean, I've been to like 15 countries. At least when you go to like some places, you know that it's scary. But in America, it doesn't really seem like, it doesn't really seem like, sometimes it doesn't seem like it. I wish I could understand what you guys say in Serbian, but I don't speak any of it, unfortunately. But please hit the like and subscribe button. Oh yeah, how do Serbians feel about Trump? How do Serbians feel about Trump? That's another question. How do they feel? I'm sure at this time they would rather have him than their president. Hey, hopefully I don't ever spend the night in a Serbian jail cell for talking about Serbian politics. They gotta free all those college students that got arrested in the protest. That's for hell, sure. You love him and you hate him. I think everyone feels. What do you love about Trump and what do you hate about him? I like to hear the Serbian perspective. At least he's bringing a bit of. At least he's bringing a little bit of Christianity back to the United States. Before him, under Biden, it was very lacking morality and Christianity quite a bit. No, I know Biden's a Christian or whatever, but he didn't really act like one. Now, Trump, that's a man that actually prays to God before his meetings. Once things are cleared up or once, something happens, maybe I'll visit Serbia with a little bit more time. When I went there, I was just passing through the airport, but I got to see very little, but some things of the country, not really too much. I was in Belgrade, but there's a lot of Serbians here in Montenegro. I mean, I'm sure you know. I don't know if you guys ever visited Montenegro. I'm in Tiviat right now. Tivat, I don't know why I say it like that. Yugoslavia. We were all one country at one point. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. What do you Serbians, what part of Montenegro did you visit? I've been to Kotor. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher this next one. Herzegovina, which I know it used to be a part of Bosnia. Oh wow, you were in Tivat? How did you like it? Did you enjoy your time here? What did you think of it? If I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit of a stranger to this place. I just randomly one day was looking on my computer. My lease was about to end. My rental contract was about to end. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, Barcelona is blah blah blah, way better," or this or that. But like, I just came here from Barcelona. I was looking on my laptop. I really like the country. I've never been here specifically. I've been to Kotor and Herzegovina, however you say it, whatever, however you say it. Sorry to the countrymen of this fellow country, but yeah, I was looking and trying to figure out where I wanted to go. I'm gonna butcher another name. Budva. Yeah, I actually think I said it right there. Budva. I was looking between here and Budva, and I'm kind of like I lived in a big city. Not I don't know what the exact size of Belgrade is, but it's probably comparable to there. Maybe a little bit more jammed packed, cause yeah, maybe a little bit more jam packed even. Probably maybe even a bit more louder because Spanish people are a bit loud. Just their culture and their music. They play loud as hell. They party all night. They sleep all day. So it was getting a little bit noisy. It was definitely full of a lot of homeless people and also human waste. I'm not trying to put bad names on Barcelona. It's a great city, and Spain is a great country, but I'm just being brutally honest here. They know their issues. Serbia is currently the main topic of the world. Absolutely. I mean, literally, people are wondering what's going to happen next. It's like it was really the only thing that could that can overshadow Trump was Serbia. Before that, every country was just talking about Trump and panicking and crying. Now they're all talking about Serbia. I mean, that's the news cycle. But like I said before, I pray that it goes well for you guys. I'm sure in the end you'll get what you want. I mean, normally they do when they protest like that. And I know every streamer and every blah, blah, blah is kind of talking about it. But I like to hear directly from the Serbian people. It makes it more interesting for me. Even I went to like this expat foreign dinner or whatever, people were talking about like travel plans and stuff like that. And all of them were saying like, oh, like, we were going to go through Serbia, but now like they're blocking the roads and stuff like that. So we don't know what we're going to do, or we're going to have to go around or figure out another route. But I'm interested, what do you guys think the end result of this will be? If any Serbians can tell me what they think the end result of all these protests will be. Do they think there will be a revolution, or do you think the government will just, remove the president and kind of adapt this whole thing? I would be curious to know. I mean, I guess this isn't the first incident they've had, so they're probably sick of it. Yeah, a lot of people probably don't know, I guess. The best you can do is a speculation, which is founded on nothing. Excuse me. Serbski. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's what I've been saying. Finally, a Serbian that can confirm it. I do believe there was a... You think there was 1 million in the protest, or are you saying the whole population of Belgrade? Because there's studies or whatever, there's outside polling or whatever, and it says 98%, no, 98.9% of all Serbians agree with the protests going on right now, or something like that. Which is definitely, more than the majority, obviously. It's raining here right now, but it's weirdly enough kind of halfway sunny. Here, since you've been to Tavat, I'll show you. Now, all I gotta do is learn to speak Serbian so I can communicate better with you guys. And also local Montenegrin language would be nice. The only language I literally picked up on was a bit of Spanish. Yo hablo español un poco. And that's it. But, yeah, I've seen lots of protests and things like that, but it's all kind of a joke compared to what Belgrade has going on and Serbia as a whole, I guess. Let's see if we can pull up some news footage real quick for something. Let's see what we can see, anything interesting. Nothing garbage, though. Hold on. Is there any new news? Yeah, absolutely. You can tell by all the mountains around. You guys can tell because you're Serbians, but anyone else around the world is pretty much uneducated about, this area. What is going on in Serbia? So basically, let me give, the English Americanized, I'm an American version of this. Basically, hundreds of thousands of people are protesting right now. I mean, I'm really surprised you didn't hear it. I'm seeing it like in every news outlet. There's an entire video I can show that explains it good. What's the guy's name? Ironically, living in Europe. He made a really good video about it. Protester in Serbia, yes, for anti-corruption. He's Serbian, so he can tell you best. But, how corruption kills.
In 1883, Novi Sad, one of Austria-Hungary's largest cities and the biggest Serbian-inhabited city at the time, got its first train station. The building was nothing out of the ordinary and similar to many others in the empire, and mainly connected the city with other parts of Hungary. For decades, it functioned normally, serving the local population to get around. After Austria-Hungary was disintegrated and Novi Sad was annexed by Yugoslavia, the city started growing in importance, with many new Serbian and Bosnian settlers flooding to Novi Sad. In a relatively short amount of time, the city grew to a size that was beyond the capacity for its infrastructure. As such, the communist government at the time embarked on a journey to renovate and expand the city to fit the needs of its citizens. One of the main infrastructure projects conducted by them was the demolishing of the old train station and the building of a new, more centrally located one. Hence, in 1964, the Novi Sad train station as we know today was built. The station was built in a classical brutalist style and serviced connections throughout Yugoslavia and abroad, and quickly became a popular gathering place for locals. For years, the train station remained untouched and stood the test of time, proving to be reliable and quite efficient in servicing tens of thousands of passengers. Most notably of all, it became one of the defining buildings of the city and beloved by many. However, sometime in 2022, the mayor of Novi Sad, Miloš Vučević, announced that after 60 years, the train station was going to be fully renovated as a part of the fast rail project between Belgrade and Budapest, funded and executed in great part by the Chinese government.
我在北京
The renovation project would be undertaken by a Chinese construction company starting and would be executed via joint efforts of Serbia and China. This was seen as nothing special, as for several decades now, China has been a key partner in developing Serbia's infrastructure and overall the infrastructure in the Balkans, with countries like Hungary, Greece, and North Macedonia openly working with the country in the strive to develop their nations. However, because the train station in Novi Sad carried such tremendous cultural and historic weight, the importance of the project was tremendous, and any and all botching of the project would reflect horribly on the ones responsible. As such, in 2023, in the effort to boost his PR and political standing, Serbia's president, Aleksandar Vučić, announced that he would come and visit the construction project, an event which would be broadcasted across national television. In an effort to make the project's progress look good, the construction started to be rushed, with many corners being cut. In one of the reports published by Zoran Djajic, an engineer working on the project, Zoran stated that he submitted a photo to the authorities where behind one of the panels there was pieces of concrete. The concrete was partially missing and was substituted with cement jackets crushed in order to fit smaller pieces of concrete inside the construction.
Garbage.
In another incident, Djajic also apparently asked
Horrible.
for marble slabs in front of the building to be checked for the substrate under them and to repair the substrate and put up new marble slabs. Instead of doing that, allegedly, the project artist just repainted the panels even though they needed to be fully replaced. Most notably, in the same year of Vučic's visit, before the project was finished, the news agency 021.rs asked the Ministry of Traffic to get documents about the reconstruction. However, the ministry denied their request, claiming that the Chinese project contractors do not wish for the documents to be available to the public before the end of the project. Besides that, one of the newest additions to the train station was the renovated canopy, which was envisioned to be reconstructed by having heavy glass, concrete, hard metal frames, and a green surface above it added. Many of the additions to the train station were not in the original project documents. Even so, in 2024, the train station was officially open to the public in a grand televised opening, even though, according to Serbian law, after the reconstruction of any building before it can be open to the public, it must possess an operating permit. The railway station did not obtain this. And so, for several months, the train station became again used by thousands, and even more than before, considering Serbia now hosted a fast rail linking Belgrade and Novi Sad together, two of the country's largest and most important cities. And soon enough, the fast rail would extend all the way to Budapest, which would make the train station even more important. However, on November 1st, just 4 months after the train station was opened, its canopy, weighing over 300 tons, collapsed and crushed 14 people, instantly killing them, gravely injuring 3 others, and killing another one 10 days after succumbing to her own wounds from the collapse. A tragedy which was almost unparalleled in modern history of the nation, and an event that completely shocked the entire country. Immediately after, 3 days of mourning were declared in Novi Sad, and 1 day in the entire country. People started hitting the streets en masse to mourn together and hold a period of silence for the victims. However, the Serbian government had different priorities. In the immediate media reports, most of which are controlled by the government and current ruling party, the Serbian Progressive Party, or colloquially known as SNS, the reports started stating that the old canopy had collapsed and how the canopy was not renovated since 1964, whilst at the same time completely glossing over the amount of victims the tragedy killed and their identities. This was preposterous and nothing less of dumping an entire bag of salt onto a gaping wound, and many Serbs saw it as such. Almost immediately after these reports were published, several engineers came out and publicly challenged the notion that the canopy was not renovated. Quickly after that, pictures started popping up showcasing the canopy before and after, clearly indicating that indeed it was affected during the renovation. In an aerial view of the building, the new canopy's design could be clearly seen, with green soil right on top of it. According to one theory, the soil which was put on top was not accounted for properly in the final calculations. It is believed that if the soil was real, it was able to hold on to moisture from rain and other weather conditions, which would further increase the strain on the structure's support. Examining the damage where the canopy broke, cracks and tears in the concrete could be seen where there were no beams, as well as rust in the metal that was tying the canopy to the main structure. Furthermore, in the original project plans, the attic was envisioned to be empty, but later on, glass was added on top of it. The design upon further examination appeared to be flawed from the get-go, as the weight of the canopy was mainly supported by cantilever beams instead of columns, which would have provided additional load support, especially in the case of the additional weight added on top of it. The evidence was damning, and the people were expecting answers. However, the elected officials would refuse to give any statements regarding the project, nor release further documents on the project, instead choosing to focus on preserving...
Serbians, don't feel bad. You're not the only country in the world that deals with this, but this is a huge issue. You guys should keep putting your pressure down.
Used by thousands daily, be it to commute to work, university, home, or just...
Construction corruption is everywhere.
Region use the station regularly.
But this is unacceptable. I agree with the local population.
And so, immediately after the government denied accountability, thousands rushed to the street to protest. 4 days after, due to the immense pressure from the public, the Minister of Construction, Traffic and Infrastructure, Goran Vesic, resigned. During his resignation, he still maintained his innocence and the lack of involvement in the project, even though numerous occasions before, he was constantly in PR videos promoting the station and his party's works in pushing Serbia forward. As this was going on, the independent media was working diligently to uncover and publish documents related to the renovation works of the train station and uncovering the roles of those involved in the command chain of the project. The public started calling for the apprehension and jailing of those responsible, mainly the state higher-ups.
Hi, Supersonic.
Did not hide the disastrous collapse of the canopy under the rug, then proceeded to shift the narrative in an effort to avoid blame, to also finding and prosecuting those responsible, starting up an investigation and interviewing around 50 workers in the lower end of the project's chain of command, essentially trying to find an adequate scapegoat to shift the blame. Although more and more documentation was hitting the public's eye, the state's prosecutor's office, however, remained silent, and no action was being taken to prosecute those responsible for the tragedy. What was enough, and even more people went to the streets to protest, with a large mob of protesters forming right outside of Novi Sad town hall, with the public demanding that the government actually do something and prosecute those involved in the reconstruction project. The protest held was peaceful, with people gathering around to make noise and scream their demands at the government. However, amongst this crowd, several fully masked persons appeared who started vandalizing the town hall and nearby buildings by breaking their windows and spray painting graffiti over them. Within the town hall, a police force was stationed tasked with protecting the building. However, despite only a handful of these masked persons vandalizing...
No, you're not doing it right. It's a button that sends it with the little emoji he put.
Condemned the vandals' actions. The same night, President Vučić was scheduled to come and visit the city and hold a speech regarding the tragedy. However, instead of going to any public space or...
It's like a little button you can click and it spams hi.
Arrival, and most of the SNS venues were severely vandalized, with their windows being broken, red paint scattered all over the venues' exteriors, and the Serbian flag being ripped apart. Now, unlike in other countries, predominantly Western ones, where flag desecration is seen as a valid form of protest and more or less a regular occurrence,
it is not a valid form.
From the case. Serbians, no matter their political orientation, deeply care for their state and flag.
Good.
The Serbian flag,
good for them. They're nationalists.
Heard of, and incomprehensibly...
Every Western country needs to follow this and not destroy their flags.
And the police not taking action in preventing the town hall vandals aroused suspicion that the government was behind the violent attacks in an effort to bastardize the image of the protesters, a move that is unfortunately very prevalent in the current Serbian political landscape and has been seen numerous...
Oh, that's exactly what people believe would happen in Washington, D.C. during January 6th, when Trump had the election stolen from him. And people were protesting and did violent acts. They believe they were secretly from the government, FBI, CIA. Some evidence has came out that it was. I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theory. It hasn't been 100% proven, But it's actually, maybe it has been proven. I can't really say, but I believe that's what happened. In the US, at least. I don't know about Serbia.
Before, as was the case with the bulldozing of the 12 buildings in Savamala. Suspicions further rose when Vucic held a speech in front of one SNS venue where he made a fuss about the desecrated flag and how he'll put those who...
My name is Graham. Nice to meet you. It's a very English name. But you know, wasn't born in the UK or anything like that. I do have some English ancestry. But yeah, my name's Graham. Graham. Spelled like graham cracker, the English way. It's pouring rain right now, guys. Pouring.
The same night, the police dressed in civilian clothing made their way to the protest.
Yes, perfect, perfect.
Mainly peaceful student protesters, whilst the vandals disappeared with no trace. The next day, after the town hall protest, the government held a session in which they condemned the protesters and publicly accused the opposition for organizing them. In an effort to show how they were doing something, several ministers resigned and 12 people were jailed.
Absolutely. Burning your country's flag should be a crime. I don't care what country you're in. Even if it's the USA, Serbia, probably is a crime in Serbia, but any country you are, if you're living in that country, you should not be burning the flag. In most countries, people burn flags, they can just get up and leave. They're not being held there by some government. If you hate it that badly to burn a flag, yeah, no, I will never be able to read Cyrillic. It's too hard. Wait, let me try. I can give it a try if you'd like. I don't know the pronunciations, but if I was gonna say like an English pronunciation, Jobaha? Jobaha? Is that even close, remotely, or no? Here's another thing that was messed up. They put the student protesters. So not at all. I didn't think so.
After a couple of days in custody, both were released, while the 14 students remained in prison. As rumor has it, the incarcerated ministers were provided with newly renovated rooms with comfortable beds specifically suited for their needs, while at the same time, the imprisoned students were placed in cold, rundown prisons with pests, parasites like lice, and mold being present. This just further made the Serbian populace's blood boil, and protests started erupting all over the country, with thousands organizing and blocking traffic in silence. In one of the traffic blockade protests, a student was physically attacked by several passerbys, whose identities were later revealed to be of several SNS functionaries. On November 25th, due to the attack on one of their students, the University of Dramatic Arts in Belgrade rose up in a mass protest, with the students taking over the campus and establishing a blockade of the university. The students made their demand simple and public: release the identities of the attackers from the previous protest and prosecute them in full force according to the law. Things started to snowball as this event sparked even more protests and traffic blockades, with more and more students and civilians coming out to put the country to a halt. However, as more came out to the streets to protest, more violent clashes started occurring, with more passerby attacking the protesters and several vehicles even running students over.
Oh my, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Was still not taking any action, with no indictments nor convictions taking place, and the attackers freely walking away. With the people's voice falling on deaf ears, the students took matters into their own hands. Day after day, one university after another got taken over by the student body, and a spring of blockades erupted, with classes grinding to a halt. As of writing this video, all public universities in Belgrade, Novi Sad, Niš, and Kragujevac have been taken over by students and have been blockaded, while even more public and private universities are joining their ranks. Unable to be ignored, this hit national and international news, bringing the Serbian government into the limelight. In typical fashion, government officials would state to the press that these protests...
Wait. I really don't want to make fun of this guy because, you know, who knows when I'm back in Serbia. Please don't arrest me. Please don't arrest me. But am I the only one that thinks the Serbian president looks like a woman? Like, look at his lips. Oh. He either looks... No offense to... Don't arrest me, Serbia, please. I don't know if I'm going to have to go in the airport there, but he looks like a gay man, or he has these very gay lips, or these very feminine looking lips. Very feminine looking lips. Like, there's no way he would be like, let's go back for a second. He's very, not a very, he's not, he doesn't look like a Serbian either. He doesn't look like a Serbian to me. He looks like he's wearing lipstick. Look at his lips. Tell me he's not wearing lipstick. Am I the first person, like the first person to say that, or do Serbians say that as well? I need to know, because is he wearing lipstick? I don't know, maybe one of these other men are like his boyfriend or something. I really don't know.
And white. In typical fashion, government...
How do they not make fun of his lips? It looks like he's wearing lipstick. He has the biggest lips I've ever seen a white man have. He looks like he's wearing lipstick. He needs lip surgery. Like his lips, like, no, they're bigger than that. They're bigger than that. He has African lips. Is it illegal to make fun of him in Serbia? I'm curious. Or is it not like Russia like that?
To the press that these protests are funded and organized by the...
He looks like a woman. Look, look, look. If you showed me that and you said, is that a man or a woman? I would say, I don't know. 50-50. Maybe a woman, maybe a man. Especially I don't speak Serbian, so I wouldn't know what any of this is even saying. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I don't know all the law. I don't know Serbian laws. I don't want to get arrested.
And foreign powers, providing virtually little to no evidence to...
Is that him again? Holy cow! Them lips! He's a woman! The first Serbian transgender president. His body language is very feminine too. Who sits like that?
To be fair, on one of the protests, two notorious oppositionary MPs, Dragan Đilas and Marika Tepic, joined the protest and took pictures holding one of the banners, after which they immediately left. However, the students directly slammed the government accusations by refusing any and all party affiliation, acting completely as sovereign actors. You see, unlike many other revolutions, the Serbian student one was organized without ideological grounds. The student body, rising up, is composed of many people from all corners of the political compass. The main demands of the students are the complete publishing of documents of the train station reconstruction project done in the mutual effort by Serbia and China, dropping charges of the arrested student protesters, for the police to officially pursue the persons who attacked students and professors protesting, as well as a 20% increase...
Absolutely, we need these demands for the Serbian people.
Those being that the mayor, Milan Đurić, and his predecessor resigned. The organization and idea for the blockades was almost exclusively spread via word of mouth and social media.
What was that, a police station?
University was made via a democratic vote, with many universities utilizing their student portals, giving each student the option to decide whether or not for their university to declare a blockade, with the vast majority of students voting in favor. Additionally, the blockades have been organized
98.8%.
whose members are democratically elected.
Hey, welcome back.
A group sees them as not fulfilling their elected duties, with no one person being the face of the movement. Within the blockaded universities, anyone who is not a student and doesn't possess a student ID, known in Serbia as an index booklet, is denied entrance. Alongside this, the media is also barred from entering unless the blockading students democratically vote to allow them inside. Although several political parties reached out to help support the students, they have all been rejected. While the main way the students sustain themselves is via the donations regular citizens make, with many pensioners regularly stopping by the universities and bringing them food in an act of solidarity.
I'll be honest, in America or most Western countries, yeah, the pensioners ain't helping you. They don't give a shit about your protest. They're like, oh well. But that's the thing I respect about Serbia and a lot of these Christian countries, is they really care about their citizens and they really care about one another. It's all about the community. You know, I really respect that they come and help.
Since the eruption of the student revolution, the government has constantly publicly diminished them, called them easily influenced by foreign
Big
powers, and
lips
calling them to
woman.
abandon their posts and return to studying so they can work.
Is he
for
even
a
really
side
Serbian? That's
actually
my only
looking out for them,
question.
implying the current state. Although initially the president claimed that the students are attempting to overthrow the government,
Big
later
ass
claimed
ears
that all
too,
their
holy
demands had been
cow.
met, showcasing empty registers that were allegedly all the documents about the railway station, whilst also
Here's the
printing off
documents,
allegedly
here they
random
are, but
words
I'm not
on a
gonna
piece of
release them,
paper,
here they
then
are.
showcasing it to the public, claiming these were all the important documents
What an
related
idiot.
to the project, and claiming that they were now published as they were shown on television. After these attempts proved futile, he then claimed he already met all the demands, and to sweeten the deal, promised to give subsidies to young people for the purchase of their first home. However, the students continued protesting as they stated that the president of Serbia does not hold jurisdiction over the institutions that are responsible for meeting their demands. The student body also claimed that they are demanding for the proper work of the Serbian government institutions and for them to do their job. Even so, after the announcement was made by President Vučić on the official state website, documents regarding the renovation project started to be published. Alongside this, the budget increase for university funding was adopted. But this was yet still far from the demands imposed by the students, and the blockades continued.
Good for them not taking those little deals.
Protests claiming that more students oppose the blockades than they support them, even though universities decided via a
The pensions in Serbia are up to 30% less than the paycheck of the person in question. I have no clue what that means. If you'd like to explain, I'll listen.
Morale-raising events for them. Nevertheless, on December 22nd, 2024, the largest of the protests was held in Belgrade at Slavia Square, where over 100,000 people gathered and held 15 minutes of silence for the victims of the train station canopy. While the period of silence was held, thousands turned on the flashes of their cameras to show their presence.
I mean, I guess you can say it's a little bit... I'm going to pause the video for a second. You can say it's a little bit of a strange interest in Serbia. In the old days, you may have been scribbled off as an agent, provocateur, or that note. I'm off. Probably an agent provocateur, probably, a spy, whatever the bullcrap lies they want to say that aren't true. But the reason I do have a strange interest in Serbia, quote unquote, is because I just went there like 2 weeks ago, and now I'm living in Montenegro. It's high Serbian population, like 20 or 30% or something like that. So I'm meeting a lot of people. And it's just like, a lot of Serbs. But I get it, I'm an American, I'm from the West, it's a 16-hour difference from flying from, from where I'm from to here. So it's very far away. But hopefully that kind of explains some of it.
The president of the National Assembly, Ana Brnabić, claimed that the protest was aimed at Aleksandar Vučić, and the government again tried to diminish the protesters by claiming there were only 25,000 people present.
This is one of the biggest...
The state utilized a custom-made software for counting people at protests, and that's how they got that number. Later on, they backtracked on the statement that there were only 25,000 people counted, but 18,000 instead. As of writing this video, the students and the government...
I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know how the pensions work in other countries either, to be honest.
The demands are still unfulfilled. Mostly those relating to bringing the ones involved in the train station project and those attacking students to justice. The biggest event that transpired since the Slavia protest was the resignation of the Prime Minister, Miloš Vučević, after several protesters were attacked yet again by SNS functionaries during a
The fact that I'm living in previous Yugoslavia kind of explains all the interest you need to know why about... I'm discussing Serbia.
Due to the blockades remains, and more smaller universities located in smaller cities and towns join their peers. In addition to this, it is theorized that the Serbian Ministry of Security Information has been trying to target students by creating websites where the student protesters would be doxed via their full names, faces, and
that's terrible.
Showcased, and malware and spyware infect protesters' devices. In one instance, two dual national citizens of both Serbia
now this is kind of crazy.
Passports published in the government-owned press, which is a severe breaking of the law. And moreover, the media intensified their witch hunt over the two dual nationals by claiming how they were a part of the Ustaše Croatian Nazis.
Simply not true.
The only evidence supporting this claim, at the blockade where they were active, the students utilized a Croatian cookbook. Furthermore, the media propagated the insane theory how the cookbook was supplied to them via the Ustaše secret services, with instructions. However, the students have refused to budge and refused to be intimidated until all their demands are met, with many spinning the situation to humor by creating creative and hilarious signs to scrutinize the government. Furthermore, although President Vučić and his party, SNS, have created more or less a one-party state and have established a strong voter base amongst the middle-aged and senior population, their support has started to corrode, as many of them have kids and grandkids who are involved in the protests and have been targeted directly and indirectly by the government. Many farmers and lawyers have also joined the protests, with many of them now coming with tractors to major protests, which they utilize as shields against the police and cars that would attempt to run over the protesters, which as a whole has severely damaged the trust in the current ruling party, making the older population, which has been the party's loyal voting base, re-examine their stance towards the government. As of most recent events transpiring, 2 major 24-hour protests occurred on the Belgrade highway near the city, and 3 on the bridges in Novi Sad, which were blockaded symbolically for 3 hours for the 3 months that the protests have been going on, while another protest occurred on the Novi Sad Freedom Bridge, which was blockaded for 27
Has
hours.
anyone been in any of these protests? Please let me know. It'd be interesting to hear.
With over 300,000 attendees. Right now, it is unknown what the result of this revolution will be, as the student body refuses to budge, and due to the mass scale of the people involved, the government cannot utilize direct force to disband the protests. Doing so would be political suicide and potentially open Pandora's box for a revolution Serbia hasn't seen since the fall of Milosevic. As such, they must tread carefully, as one wrong move can be the end of Vučić and SNS as we know it. Hopefully, the students will be able to get all their demands met with their fight. Perhaps the Iron Curtain of corruption in this country.
Thank you, man. Thanks for watching. This video is pretty much over. I'm about to change the subject a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. I unmuted myself now. They're mocking him. All I know is that the next South Park season will be insane. They definitely got to do something with Serbia.
Yeah, so if you guys remember this is Anthony Mackie, known for the Hurt Locker movie about bombs, but also known for the Marvel movies. He's now Captain America, and this is what he has to say about masculinity in America.
In the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. That American male masculinity is something I think is very
It is 1300 here as well. In my home country, it is 7 in the morning. But here in Montenegro, it's the same, 13.
He goes on to say, touring Europe, promoting this movie,
100.
It's very specific to America. He goes, I see these European men, and I'm like, what's up? You know, and he kind of, it's so funny.
Oh no, I agree. Masculinity definitely has been killed in America, but you know what's even worse than that? The masculinity killed in Western Europe. I find all the Western Europeans, no offense to any of them, no offense to any of them, I love you guys, but these are some of the most feminine men I've ever seen in my life. Nothing can really change my opinion for that. And that's coming from the US, where there's literally transgender weirdos walking around claiming that they're real women. And even after that, I still think a lot of the men in Western Europe are a little bit more feminine. No wonder, like, you know, I won't say all that, but. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna get out of here now. Hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here now. Hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Get out of where? Western Europe and America? I did it. I'm out of there. No more wimpy, non-masculine men. Alright, guys. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Love talking with all you guys. See ya.